fear of staying in this corporate game long term was already bigger than the fear of risking something on my own.
You have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. If you're listening or watching this on the web and you want to download some audio episodes, by all means, go to the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Today, we're welcoming / preparing to learn from Tiago Faria, a business mentor for coaches and mentors with a unique and very interesting, I must say, anti-marketing approach. So, Tiago, how is it going today?
Very good, my friend. I love your name because James in English is actually the translation of my name, Tiago. St. James, Santiago.
Is it really?
So we are related, yes. I saw it somewhere on the webs. Don't take me for a scientific research, but I think it is, yeah.
Worldwide, all good. So let's start with the anti-marketing approach. That is a bold statement, I guess, as far as that goes. So let's jump down that rabbit hole right away.
Yeah, so it's not anti-marketing per se. Of course, I'm a lover of marketing. It's mostly anti like what we're bombarded daily by the gurus, internet marketing gurus, telling us, that there's an easy button that you press and you're one funnel away from magic, and you just need to use this funnel tactics and this landing page and this ads, and usually that's a recipe for disaster, especially if you're in the beginning stages of your business, in my opinion. Because you get kind of, it's a trap. You get trapped in those kind of, you try to find the fastest, more complex way to start getting clients, for example. But then you try it for a while, it doesn't work immediately. So, and then you quit very easily, and then there's something even shinier on this side. So, and this is a game that I was personally stuck on for 2 to 3 years. It's something that is not advisable because one, it's overly complex for someone who's starting right now, and two, you kind of you are complicating your life too much, and you just keep jumping from strategy to strategy, and you never let yourself grow to its fullest potential of any one of those strategies. So it's anti-more that kind of marketing flashiness approach. And why do I go against it? Because I suffered for 2-3 years. I worked at Google for 8 years, and then once I quit that job, I came back to Portugal, tried to start my own business with those complex strategies, and hit against a brick wall. It was not working. I was making my life very tough, my life and my clients' life very tough. So since then, I've been trying to simplify my approach as much as possible. Okay, this is overly complex. Maybe we don't need this. The first step I took was to work finally with a mentor after 3 years trying to break the stone on my own, trying to do everything on our own. We always have this thought that we can do everything. We're superheroes, right? We can do everything on our own, but no, it's a big mistake. So I worked with a mentor, created my plan, focused on a specific person I wanted to help, specific problem I wanted to help, and simplified my strategy, inspired by the book of this gentleman, Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got, from Jim Abraham.
Nice.
And I focused on this last sentence, all you've got. And I was thinking, okay, what do I have, in my world? I have a contact list I have a network of people that I know, that I interact with. I have relationships, right? And I have an audience. Most of us already have some sort of audience on LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever. And I was thinking of ways, okay, how can I leverage my current assets to start a cool business that can, grow sustainably until the 10K level, so that after that we can start playing with more complex strategies. But until then, I believe it's not necessary. I believe we have everything we need in our world right now to capture even high ticket paying dream clients. But of course, we need to tweak the way we position ourselves, the way we create an offer, and the way then we offer it to the people around us. But that's the baseline of the strategy. Is we already have everything we need. We just need to tweak some things.
All right. You went through a lot of stuff there. Let's start with the Google one. You had the job with Google for a while. 8 years seems,
8 years,
I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, because I don't have anything to support either way, but I'm guessing that that's a long time. It's a place like Google.
Yes, it's ages, like
2011.
Ages. 2011 sounds like a Jurassic period of time. I look back to the photos I took then, and the phones were horrible, and I didn't have half of the things that we own today. But yeah, it was a long time. Um, I for 5 years I was enjoying it, the game. But after 5 years, I started feeling, oh, something is wrong here. I'm a bit misplaced. At first, I thought, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong role, or maybe I'm in the wrong office. Everyone is moving offices in Google, going to New York, going to Chicago, going to Malaysia. So maybe that was an issue, but I wasn't able to even change roles because I was not super motivated. I would go to those interviews and like, yeah, I'm good at this, and I wanted to do that. But
Oh,
I wasn't bringing my true self to those interviews, so I wasn't able even to move inside. So I slowly started realizing maybe the problem is me. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong area, and slowly started understanding I'm psychologically unemployable. I was super annoyed of having a manager nagging my nerves every week. So how was your OKRs? How are you? Got tired of also not using my full creativity. I was limited to Google Ads, to work with these big shark companies that mostly my creativity was quite limited. I didn't like working for others. I don't like the way that I was just feeding the big corporations, and I felt the need. Okay, I need to do something on my own. And I slowly started thinking of ways to start doing it. I started like most of us did, like creating some crappy drop shipping businesses here and there, or just to put the foot in the water. And then I decided, okay, I need to get out of here because the fear of staying in this corporate game long term was already bigger than the fear of risking something on my own. When that happened, I talked to my wife. Okay, we need to get out here, go back to Portugal. I started preparing, the path. I invested here in some real estate. I also made sure that I already have a couple of clients to work with once I came here. So and then I jumped in 2019.
nice.
But yeah, of course, working at Google was super fun, of course, for long periods. Work hard, play hard. Of course, got to know amazing people that work there. Um, some of the biggest companies in the world I interacted with in Europe and Middle East. Yeah, learned a bunch. Working at Google is like the pinnacle of if you like to play the game, the corporate game, and you like the tech world and the online digital space. It's like amazing. But I realized it just wasn't for me.
Fair, totally fair. I love that phrase you used, psychologically unemployable, because I feel like a lot of people, myself included, listening to this podcast could say, like, that's what I am. That's what I am.
I actually
So
heard
it's
it from Miles
interesting. You had
Beckler
this,
initially. So
I mean, you got this corporate job working for a big mega corporation, probably making some decent money, having an okay time. But there came a time when you realized, I don't want to live my life this way. I don't want to be on my deathbed saying, I wish I did this, that, or the other thing. And eventually the fear of
mhm.
what could have been overcame. So that's awesome. That's very cool. So how did you
Yeah.
decide not to get into some drop shipping business and do what you're doing now?
Yeah, I actually didn't start doing immediately what I'm doing now. I started consulting smaller businesses in like using what I knew before, like the Google My Business for local businesses, some Google Ads. But slowly, I started also immediately doing Facebook ads because I missed the huge growth that Facebook ads were having while working at Google. I was like, I'm missing out on all of this fun stuff. So I immediately started playing around with Google Facebook ads as well. But yeah, I didn't like the idea of having multiple bosses. So instead of having one boss, now I had multiple bosses, which was slow, working as an agency for small local businesses. I fast realized also that was not my path. So I quit a job, got another job. No, that doesn't make sense. And so I thought, okay, who can I help the best? Who am I willing to work with that I will enjoy and I could cause a real good transformation? And it will be something like someone like myself. I was helping others achieve results. So that's exactly who I should be focused on, helping people in this kind of help industry, which are coaches, consultants, service providers that focus on generating amazing transformations that you can charge high ticket for. So basically, that's my area of expertise, where I decided to focus more on, and that's where I felt more comfortable, and where I could generate the biggest results. And that's exactly how okay, this is my my beach, like we say in Portugal. This is my beach.
Gotcha. All right. So when you first left and you start your own thing, you have all these bosses. By bosses, you're talking about the clients, and they're just
Yes,
smaller clients. And a lot of times, the smaller clients are the naggiest kind of clients,
most
or
demanding, negative. Yes, yes.
yeah, or they don't even know what to ask for, or they didn't even
You don't
know
see the
what they
value of your
want.
work most of the time.
Sure, they don't know what success necessarily looks like. I imagine I'm guilty of this as well. When I've paid marketers to help me out, in the end, I just want the investment in marketing to turn into cash
Yeah,
by
yeah,
way of adding more clients. And I
yeah,
feel like a lot of times with marketers versus business owners of whatever business, there's somewhat of a disconnect of an expectation versus reality. And maybe neither one necessarily knows. I
mm,
guess my point there is there's no hard and fast, like, hey, if you invest, whatever, $100, $1,000, whatever it is, you will get Y. Because then if that Y was bigger, everyone would be like, yes, I'll make that trade all day long, multiple times if I can. So
yes,
you were kind of getting annoyed by that, I imagine. You're like, yeah, this isn't any good. So
yeah.
how did you pivot to the point of targeting the high ticket coaches and stuff like that?
Because I felt that in order to make a big difference in any company, I would need to be involved not only in the marketing per se, but also in the creation of what they have to offer, right? And
Oh, so it
I could
goes
become, yeah, to
expands.
kind of not advanced, but because you're basically if you're running ads to something, that offer that that person has or the company has is nothing, that is proven to work, or it's not really well created. You're just pouring a pile of gas in a pile of sticks, right? And if there's no combustion, there's not going to be any fire, any explosion or whatever. So I was feeling like that. I was bringing clients or bringing eyeballs into companies, but then the service was not amazing, or what they had to offer was just exactly the same as multiple other companies around that did the same. So I felt, okay, I need to be more involved in both the offer creation and then putting all the marketing efforts on top, because then I can control it at that aspect, and it's more likely that will generate results. And I was not an expert in any of those areas, but I was helping dentists, I was helping lawyers, local businesses. So I figured, okay, I'll help someone that I understand, like myself. I'm a consultant, I'm a coach, I'm a business mentor. So yeah, and in that case, I can more easily impact on what they have to offer, because it's easier to create an offer, out of your own knowledge or of your expertise, and you can create it for like very quickly out of nothing, versus forcing a dentist to create a completely new service or whatever. So yeah, in that sense, it helped me out. It makes my life easier to help to bring results, and it's also very good for my clients, because I help them. Okay, let's use whatever you have, your knowledge, your expertise, and etc. And your clients to create something that people actually would want to buy desperately, And then the marketing is easy. After that, after you have something that people want badly, if the offer sells by itself, any marketing and sales will work, even if you're not terribly good at marketing or sales. But if you have something that people really want, then everything is much easier.
All right. So has it been tough to find coaches and mentors that were willing to listen? I guess, for lack of a better phrase.
No, actually, no, no. It's people now. What I think they're understanding even more and more the need for that, because many coaches now came. At least here in Portugal, it became very fashionable to be a coach, and they all like took the same certifications, same kind of yeah, certifications that they thought would be enough to start a whole business and grow crazy like that. But most of them come to the market and they see that it's very hard to differentiate nowadays, because if you just come to the market saying I'm a coach, I'm how to say, a life coach, very generic expression.
Yeah, right.
And then nowadays it's like just okay, cool, good for you, you're a life coach. It just comes to one ear, goes out of the other, and it basically is just a bit of noise on the internet. So they feel the need to, okay, how can I differentiate myself? And that's how, usually they look for help. And usually either they find me and then or someone else who helps them out. But it's it's a need nowadays with the markets getting more and more competitive, especially in the
Mhm.
US, North America, my God. But in Portugal, even also the same, which it's the market that I've been focused on mostly. But yeah, I think that's the main issue.
All right. Yeah, it's the word coach has been thrown around a lot and it's only ramped up because I guess the barrier to entry is you have to have internet and a computer of some kind,
Yes.
maybe even your phone, right? And it's interesting. I've run into business coaches and all that jazz, life coaches, health coaches, insert descriptor here, and then coach. It's very interesting. Some are good, doing very well, and others, well, some are not that good and still doing very well. But it's interesting how that term is just thrown onto anything. So when you say that people came to you, were you doing any paid marketing at all to attract them? Or was it more something else? I don't know, magic in the sky, something like that.
No, I did some paid experiments while I was in that shiny object chasing. um, but the majority of the people that found me were from my efforts I've done at the beginning stages of my career here. I created a podcast. I actually started like what you're doing. I created a podcast in order to gain some authority quickly in my market. And those episodes still today bring me new leads. But
Nice.
I also position myself as an expert on YouTube and created my own kind of monologue channel and monologue podcast. I always felt that I was not a content creator, but I defeated that stupid belief by just brute force. I did a 90-day challenge, 90 videos, 90 consecutive days on YouTube, which I extended later for 120, just because, yes, which helped me, yeah, beat the belief, position myself as a partner of YouTube, and create a huge library of videos that cover many topics, and they are still searchable nowadays. And I think it was mostly the creation of my content plus my podcast that has been bringing me more people, at least here in the local market.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah.
So you said 90 days, 90 videos, so a video a day, and they're 90 seconds long, or initially they were? Or tell me how long they were.
No. This was normal YouTube videos. I would 10 minutes, 15, sometimes 20. I was
Holy, and
doing
you're
like
doing one a day.
yes for the 90 days. Yeah.
Holy cow. That's impressive to say the least, just from an editing standpoint.
No. Of course, I would not. I would kill myself. If I was playing also the game of editing. I was just press a chord. I have my three topics. I put the paper next to me so not to forget, and I would just jam in the camera to the camera, and then just upload whatever it was. I wouldn't think about it. Otherwise, I would go into the perfectionism game, right? And I would never publish anything. I just keep going without looking backwards, improving my skills like crazy, right? I was getting better
Mhm.
and better. Of course, the first videos were horrible, but then at some point, because you're doing it every day and forcing yourself to improve and gain experience, by the 30th video, I found my voice. I was like, oh my God, now I know exactly who I'm talking to, the person, his frustrations, what he needs to do, and etc. And it was felt through the camera. Many people said around that video that nah, now you're like you're being yourself. I started becoming genuine, and then that started to attract opportunities to my world. Because before I was trying to force a bit myself. I was trying to be someone I was not exactly. I didn't know who I was as a content creator, so I was just putting things out there. But at some point, I found my voice, and yeah, it's perfect because you surpass all your traumas and all your fears of not being a content creator. You gain a skill very quickly because you're doing it every day, no matter what, no matter if you're on holidays or if you're sick, or there's no excuse, and you're accountable for because you announced it, on your first video, and you told your friends, your family, whatever. And you position yourself as a content creator, and YouTube likes it. Right, this guy's answering all the questions people have in this specific topic. I'm gonna put a bit more eyeballs on him. And then yeah, after 90 days, you look back, oh my God, I have this library of 90 amazing videos I can use and leverage for my clients, for my leads, etc. And I will keep on bringing traffic because it's a search engine, YouTube, right? People keep searching for those topics if you make if you make them wisely, right, you have to think a bit about search intent and SEO, put all the cool keywords in the but the simple act of being there present daily, it really is a cool idea for whoever is like, I need to create content, thinking I need to create content, but I just don't know how, I'm not good at it. Just do a 90-day challenge.
Just do it. That is awesome. That's 90 days seems like a long time to do anything that you're not used to doing. Just in a row, regardless of what happens, how you're feeling, what's going on in the day, holiday, whatever. That is impressive. So you, with your experience at Google, did you know some of the tricks, I guess, to get found on YouTube? Because YouTube, I don't know what the number is for number of videos that get uploaded every single day, but it's got to be in the neighborhood of millions, if not billions.
Yes, per second.
So, to be able to raise your hand through the noise and say, look at me, right? Did you have some idea or some skills in that regard?
No, because we didn't touch organic while working there. It's all paid.
Okay.
It's all the paid versions. I learned it like through watching videos. Actually, through Miles Beckler, he was my inspiration at the time. He was the crazy content creator. He inspired me to start it. But yeah, it's like I knew that in order to get eyeballs in a new platform, I mean, you have to be consistent. You have to bring a lot of value, not only just random crap, right? But actually, I was analyzing keywords, seeing what people were searching for, both on Google and YouTube, and then today I'm going to create a video around this specific keyword phrase. And doing this, YouTube looks at you a bit like more as a content creator, like I said, and looks at you as someone who's answering all the questions people have. So okay, let's put some eyeballs on him. Yeah, but it's not an easy game to play, YouTube.
No. I've had a much easier. I don't want to say easier. I've had much more success with the audio side of the podcast, I guess, on our end with Authentic Business Adventures than we have on YouTube. And I don't just because the scale, not scale, just because I guess it's designed more for audio than for video, perhaps. But I figured YouTube is such a big player in the internet, regardless of what you're looking for, that we have to be on there. So it's interesting how some videos will go crazy cool, and others you're like, oh, 6 views, that's great.
YouTube is more for people like looking for quick how do you say, quick video consumption, or like are looking for some quick answer, right? Versus podcast listeners are people that they want to sit down, listen attentively, they're and they're usually podcast listeners. I've seen studies that have higher buying purchase as well, so it's really a great audience.
Oh, interesting. Well, we like to think we're smarter, right? Anyway, so business is going well, it sounds like. Is that fair to say?
Well, it's not exactly what I want already, but
you always want growth, right? I mean, no one's ever going to be like, yep, I'm cool right here. That's probably not even realistic if you do believe that.
I think
but I guess
you're right.
You're happy you made the change. Is that safe to say? From leaving the corporate gig?
For sure. It's like
all right,
completely different I don't know, different vibe, different even when things don't go well. I mean, I never feel as stressed as when I was at Google for like having meetings with my boss or some stupid presentation I didn't want to deliver. It's a different kind of stress, you feel you're more in control. And this accountability, I don't know, it brings you more peace because you can control everything, but it's, for the good and for the bad. But it feels better. Fair.
So tell me a story about you when you were at Google. Were you married when you were at Google?
Yeah. I was married in 2016, so it was 3 or 4 years there, before coming.
So you pull your wife aside and you're like, hey, honey, funny story. I'm going to leave my corporate gig and go off on my own, be the entrepreneur that I've always wanted to be. How did she react?
Yeah, thank God she was completely understandable and adventurous in that sense. And she saw, or she was already seeing that I was miserable, already becoming miserable there. Although she would love to keep saying to her friends and family, oh, my husband works at Google. She went defeated that thought, and she knew that I really wanted this to start something on my own. And she also wanted to come to Portugal. Portugal is an amazing country. It's much more sunny than Dublin, Ireland. Dublin Ireland is always rainy, very gray. In the winters, you go to work at night, you come back at night. It's like, oh. So she didn't see it with bad eyes. She just said, let's go, let's do it. Whatever you feel like is right. But of course, we prepare our land, right? We invested here in some real estate before we made the jump. And and I made sure that a couple of clients aligned so that we didn't start from scratch, from nothing. But yeah, she was super supportive. And but I think if she wasn't, maybe I would not be able to do the jump, or I don't know, I would lose my faith of like, yeah, I'm just ready. It's time to go. I don't know. I think it was super important, her help.
Sure. That's fair. That's totally fair. So when a high-end coach or high-ticket coach comes to you, what is the first thing that you look at in regards to what they have? Is it their offer? Is it how they are as a coach? Is it the marketing they've been doing and whether it's worked or not? What are you looking at when you dig under the covers, so to speak?
Yeah, I think you're right. The first thing you said is exactly the offer that I look at, because that's exactly the way you position yourself is the main issue for most cases. Like what we talked about at the beginning, that the niche, the being very generic. I'm just a life coach. Usually that's the main mistake, because we have this natural tendency of coming to a market and we want to help everybody. Everyone who gives us money is welcome, you know.
Right.
But it's a trap. It's a trap, and it's sometimes at the beginning it's hard for people to grasp that idea. But I usually use this metaphor, which is like, I have a river right here in front of me. It's like Tagus River. And most of us, we want to capture all the fish in this river. So we use a huge fish net. We pop it to the water, but that fish net has huge holes between them, and most of the fish go through it, and you end up just catching a couple of them almost accidentally, right? That's just what it is to be a generic coach versus trying to capture I don't know how to say in English, a group of fish of the similar fishes.
School, yeah.
School, exactly. Versus trying to grab a school and you have a smaller fish net with smaller holes, and you are able to capture all of them, right? So that's the difference of you position yourself as a specialist. You know, I'm not a life coach, or I'm not a relationship coach. For example, I help men that are on the verge of divorce to save their marriages, for example. That's something more tangible, more specific, and it resonates more with that group of people, right? When a man that is in a situation hears that, he's like, oh my God, this is for me, right? Tiago needs to help me. I'm like, I have this desperate problem right now that I need to fix exactly now. And he seems to be the only guy that understands me deeply. So it immediately transforms into the only viable solution for my problem, right? So that's the first thing, is the niche, right? To be very specific. And then also in terms of the offer, the other thing that all of us, including me, do this mistake, sorry, is not to be specific also on the problem and try to solve. We don't focus on solving a now problem. So something that is urgent for the buyer to solve right now. If we solve some problem that is okay, one day I'll think about that, they will never buy, right? We'll just keep procrastinating and say, one day I'll invest in that. So we need to think of all the problems we solved before with our clients, or even interview people like I do in my anti-marketing method. Is what I say is that you should first choose your niche and then talk to 5 to 10 potential clients in that area that you feel that are related to your niche, and just ask them questions like, what are your main frustrations? What are your main obstacles? What have you been struggling with? How does it feel like? What are your main objectives? And then figure out if there's any pattern and realize what is the urgent problem that you want to solve right now. And that will be your first offer. Your first high ticket offer should be around an urgent now problem that they want badly to solve at this exact moment, not sometime in the future. It has to be something that they want to solve now.
Love that. Can you give an example of a less than great offer that a client came to you and they were having, and you tweaked it? I mean, sometimes it doesn't take that much of a tweak and turn it into an actual offer that was producing for them.
Yeah, for example, I had a career coach. She's called Lourdes, and she was excuse me, I have some cough today. She was positioned herself like a generic career coach, And then what we did the exercise with her, exactly this. So ask her questions about, okay, think about all the people you've worked in the past, and give me a list of all the symptoms that they brought to you. Now, what were their original problems? What did you actually want to solve in that precise moment? And then simply made her think, what was the problem that give you the most pleasure to solve, and that you were able to generate a bigger transformation, like more, the incredible transformation for the person. And then why don't we just focus on that for this specific offer that we're trying to work with her? And yeah, and she instead of being a career coach, she focused on, okay, I'll focus on C-levels that are willing to make a complete career move, like to a different area, not even within the company, but to a completely different area of expertise, So once she focused on that, okay, it was much easier to find those people, to communicate to those people, and to close the group. Like, exactly, like, I need 5 people that are willing to generate this transformation and to get this transformation. So that was the case. So instead of being a generic career coach, no, I'm focusing on C-levels that want to change completely their career.
Nice. And then digging deeper into the message itself, are you offering, or are you suggesting that they offer something as basic as a free session or something like that? Or what is the call to action that you're using as a trigger?
I usually like to recommend to my clients that they have free calls with their customers, like have a discovery calls, because in my opinion, that's the easiest way for you to close a client if you don't have amazing copywriting skills, right? You're not a master copywriter. You cannot sell high ticket on a landing page if you don't have those skills, or if you don't hire someone very expensive to do it for you, right? And the second best way to do it is to start talking to people. It's much easier for you to interview someone, and if you do it the right way, which is using the consultative sales, asking questions like trying to uncover the problems that the person has, make that the person almost sell itself to you through those questions. How does it make you feel? What have you tried before? What are your main goals? And then simply at the end of the call, you simply ask the question of, do you want help with that? And then selling doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Just uncovering the problem, make the person tell her life story and what she wants to accomplish, and then simply ask if she wants help. And usually it's easier for you to sell something that way, because you contextualized what you're going to present to the person, and then she will see it as the logical next step to working with you, because you've been spending time with her, trying to understand what she's going through. So yeah, I usually advise to be through a sales call.
Gotcha.
But there are different ways to bring the persons to that call. Yeah.
Okay. So do everything you can to get that potential client to call or set an appointment with the coach to see if they're, so that the coach and the client can have a conversation, see if they're a good fit. And from there, the coach will discover the pain and then focus on the pain and then make sure that they can solve that pain. So then it's an easy layup at that point. So I like it. What have been some of the marketing, or I guess at this point it'd be advertising channels that have worked the best for your coaching clients?
I actually don't use advertisement. Like,
do not.
I'm the anti-marketing.
Oh, you do not? Okay.
The goal of the anti-marketing method is for you not to need any of that, because like I said at the beginning, like, you already have everything you need in your world. You have a network of people, you have contact lists of previous clients, leads, etc. And you have your own follower list, right? Like your audience. And the way I like to work with people in that sense is to start off with, okay, let's talk to your current and past clients, your leads, maybe even your audience, to interview them. Make you can post something on social media like, I want to create a program around this topic to generate this specific transformation. And I would love to have your opinion. Like, would you be available for a 10-15-minute call? I'd just love to have a feedback from your side. And that's a very easy yes that you get from most people that you have kind of a relationship with, either a contact or following on social media. And with that, you already get many wins. Once you interview those 5-10 people, they first of all tell you exactly what you have to create, right? They will tell you what their main problems, whether it be suffering, frustrations. The emotional words will be weapons that you can use in your own offer. So you can go back to the drawing board. Okay, people want to solve this urgent problem. I'm going to create something around this. They want to achieve this specific goal. This is going to be my promise. So you create the offer around that. And then you can go back to all those people you just interviewed and you say, hey, I just created this that solves actually the problem that you told me you had. What do you think of it? What's your opinion? And just with that, you already can have some 3 to 5 clients out of nothing because they already know you. They told you their life story. You created something around the problem they have, and most likely they will be interested in it. And if they're not, you also have if they don't need exactly what you offered, you still have an opportunity there. All right, you can still ask those people, okay, but do you know anyone else that would be interested in this offer or that could benefit of this offer? Because I have this referral program where I give you a fee for every client that you bring on my side. So leveraging referrals, right? Proactively doing that and systematically doing that to all your contacts around you, both for the people that need your offer right now that could become clients, and for those that don't need your offer because they're not your target audience or whatever. But you can still leverage everything you have around you to create your sales team, and that will be incentivized to send you very good leads and warm leads because, as you know, recommended and referred leads are easier to sell. They're super
Much easier.
motivated. Exactly. So that's basically the anti-marketing method, is leveraging what you have to give your new offer to whoever needs it, or just whoever doesn't need it, you can ask them for referrals.
All right. So using what you have, is the main idea that you'll initially send an email or something like that to your contact list or your LinkedIn contacts or something like that? Or
Yeah,
tell me about the initial communication with this, with the contacts that you have.
Yeah, so on social media, you can create a post just saying what I said at the beginning. I'm creating a software on this, and I would love to have your opinion. Would you have 10 to 15 minutes for a quick Zoom call? And I recommend you record it, because then you can, take those emotional words word by word that people say, and not just your interpretation. So that's on social media. But then you can also reach out to your previous clients, leads personally, or send a message saying exactly the same thing. Hey, I want to create an offer around this topic. Would you be available for a 10, 15-minute call? I would love to have your opinion. People love to give opinions, right? To give their feedback on something. Right? So it's an easy yes, usually. You can easily get 10 people to have an interview with, which can be very productive. And then the interview, just ask, what are your main frustrations, your problems? How does it make you feel? You try to really touch the wound and make people give you the most emotional answers, and not just say yes or no, right? You really try to dig in deeper, like how does it make you feel, but how does it look like during the day? And once you collect all that information, it's amazing. You either notice a pattern in terms of the main problems and objectives, or you identify something that, okay, this is exactly what I want to work with. I want to work with these specific people, and then you can use those words in your own offer description, like the main urgent problem. This is the transformation. These are the main things that I tried to do before that didn't work. The objections, right? So just by interviewing people, you already get so much out of it. And most of us avoid it stupidly. I don't know why. We have the tendency to be on our own minds, creating everything from scratch, and then okay, people want this for sure. I'm gonna put it in the market, and nobody buys it. Right?
For sure, right? If you build it, they will come. Yeah.
I know it sounds like a bit of boring work to talk to people, and you want to hide it behind your computer, but it really does magic. It opens up so many doors, that it's
I guess I personally wouldn't consider it boring work, because I love chatting with people, but that's why I have a podcast, I guess.
Yes.
But it's interesting that you're talking about the pain. What I learned in sales training that I've gone through is that you find the pain, and they call it twisting the knife. Where if someone comes to you with a knife in their back and they're kind of, I want to get this knife out of my back eventually, that you kind of wrench on the knife a little bit and you twist it a little bit and you say, this knife, is this the one you want to get out? To the point where they feel like they must get it out, and you're the one that's right there to help them, because you've gone through all the stuff and prove that you're the person that helped them with the knife and all that kind of stuff, getting it out, all that jazz. So it's very interesting. Tell me some of your success stories that you've had so far.
Yeah, so I had more local success stories.
Sure, local is good.
Internationalization process right now, but But yeah, one of the cases was the client that I discussed before, Lourdes. So yeah, I helped her create that specific program. Um, and she actually leveraged her own lists and contacts in her own LinkedIn profile, etc. And she just created one of those posts that I actually recommend people to do, is a hand raising posts, which are like, it's like you giving a dish full of cookies and asking, oh, do you want one? It's a very easy it's a way to position an offer that is not selling directly. It's just simply asking, do you want something? Do you want this? And this kind of post is like, I'm looking for 5 people that are, that would like to obtain a specific goal. So if you are this specific niche person and you're interested, just send me send me a message or comment below the word interested, and those specific posts, that's how you can extract from your current social media those people that are ready to buy now and that are interested in, of course, in your new offer. You have to create something that they really want to buy now, right? If you don't do that, it's not going to work. But with those posts, it's faster for you to identify those that are ready, and then it's an excuse for you to interact with them. You can, after that, you can send them a message, right? Like a direct or a messenger or whatever. And you start the process of selling it, right? You can ask a couple of questions on Messenger or through a message to see if the person actually has a problem you can help solve, if they're motivated to do it. And if so, you just bring them to a call, right? Like we said before. And then, it's easier to sell to that person that showed already interest that I want in. Yeah, and so she did that, and she, in a space of a week and a half, she was able to close the 5 slots that she wanted to sell,
Wow.
each of them for 500 euros, which is a great amount of money here in Portugal.
Yeah.
And she was super happy, especially because she created a program that she didn't have before as a group program instead of one-on-one. So she was able to, okay, I'm just going to create the videos and go on holidays. And when I'm back, I'll kick that program and I'll just be present 1 hour per week, helping those 5 people and, transporting them week by week until their main transformation. And she felt amazing with it. Only using what she had, to create the offer and to sell it directly to the people that
That's
were in
awesome.
their world.
Yeah, that's really impressive. Really impressive. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see coaches making in regards to their marketing or their messaging?
Yeah, so I think we covered a couple of them. So the major one that I still see a lot is the being generic, right? Generic service
The big
provider or
generic. I
coach.
love it.
Being generic, trying to please everyone and pleasing no one specifically, right? That's the big one. And then the other one is also, yeah, trying to put everything into your new program or into your service, like what do you call those? Not a library, but encyclopedia kind of
Oh,
course.
sure.
Putting
Yeah.
everything here, but that kind of overwhelms the person on the other side. Maybe she doesn't need everything. It will just confuse her. So we should focus on, okay, for this specific urgent problem that you want to solve now, quick, fast, easy. What are the few things that I can use from my arsenal that will take her to where she wants to go, the faster, the easier, the less stressful way. So that forces you to, okay, not put everything into one thing, but just put the things that actually move the needle faster, the 80-20, right? Because the lighter your program is, the shorter the time for the person to get the result, the quicker you give her quick wins, right? The easier it will be for you to sell. You position the program like that, and you can generate transformations quicker, faster, more reliably, because we're in the results business, right? And if we don't generate results, we're here just playing around. No one wins out of it. We're just losing time, right? You need testimonials, you need case studies, etc. So yeah, that's another big mistake, is try to jam everything into your one program. Yeah, I think those are the 2 main niches that I see that I love to work with. It's like, this is
Fair. Totally fair.
my beach.
That is so true. We're definitely in the results business. So if the results if we're not providing that was one of the challenges that I had when I was coaching some of the clients that I would coach. You'd give them the steps to take, and then you'd meet the next week or month or 2 weeks, whatever it was, depending upon their schedule. And you'd be like, hey, did you do your stuff? And they'd be like, I got busy, man. I don't know, kids, soccer, locusts, whatever, just excuse. So you're like, all right, let's just focus on today and just go moving forward. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Here's your steps. Then you meet with them again. And I was like, hey, did you do your stuff? I mean, like, funny story, man. There's hurricanes, floods, earthquakes, my mother-in-law, all this stuff. And then that happens a few times, and you're like, I got to cut you loose. I got to cut you loose. I love your money. Happy, big fan of green money, right? It's always good. Or whatever color it is in Portugal, right? Like the money, but if you're not getting success from the work that I share with you because you're not taking the steps, right? Like I can tell you how to do your push-ups, but I can't do your push-ups for you.
Yeah.
So you got to take those steps. So there were a few clients where I'm just like, we got to let you go. And most of the time it's cordial and all that kind of stuff, but you're just like, you got to be, you as a client have to be willing to do the stuff that you're paying someone to tell you what to do. So Absolutely. It's interesting. I imagine most coaches run into something like that every once in a while.
Yeah, and of course I did. I still have an accident here and there, but the way I solved it, and I try to tell my clients to do the same, is to be super selective in who you let in, because you're only going to be as good as your clients allow you to be, right? If you bring the wrong clients, you're not going to get the results, and you're not going to be good at your work, right? So you should focus on. That's why the specificity is so crucial. Okay, who's the person? What is their context? What is their specific urgent problem they want to solve right now? Because, for example, if I'm helping new entrepreneurs to get leads online, and you're going to be in trouble because first of all, they don't have money to invest in you. Second of all, they're super distracted. They're going to fall into all the distractions, and they're never going to focus on doing something. So by default, you're putting yourself in a problematic position, right? So maybe focusing on more specific clients that that have the ability to buy and to implement what you are offering, right? That is super key. And that you achieve that by being super specific on who you serve, and only accepting those people. No one else that will protect you from those kind of situations. And your clients will be super happy because they're in the right context to succeed. They're in the right mindset. They have the right resources, mental bandwidth, or whatever. So yeah, that's the key for you to stop having those kind of experiences you just described.
Nice. I love it. Tiago, where can people find you?
Yes. So as I said, I'm in the beginning stages of internationalizing my brands, but you can still lurk me at tiagofaria.pt, tiagofaria.pt. And you can, if you use Google Chrome, just Google Translate. You can see what I've been doing before.
All right.
And you can shoot me an email if you have any question or any comment about this strategy at tiago@tiagofaria.pt. Or if you want to have a chat with me, a quick call, diagnostics call to see if you already have clients in your world, just on the top right corner of my website, just book a call and we can have fun.
Very cool. I have to apologize. What is the .pt? Is that for Portugal?
Yes, Portugal.
It is.
PT.
Okay. Where does T come in Portugal?
Portugal.
Oh, okay. Well, look at me not knowing how to spell. Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. That is, yeah, I guess in North America here, I'm used to Canadian one and whatever. Interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
So I appreciate you being on the show, Tiago.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah.
If there's people took some info out of here.
Yeah. If there's one takeaway that you had to give for the coaches that are listening to this thinking, I'm on the fence, I'm not really sure, I just need a little bit of thing just to dip my toes in, what is the suggestion that you would have for them to do right now, today, at this moment?
I think it would be to make that post that we talked about. I want to create an offer around this topic. Would you be willing to have a quick chat with me, 10 to 15 minutes? And I just want to know your opinion. You have your feedback on my program that I'm creating. And with that, you can start talking to people, and things start happening. When you start moving the needle, opportunities will arise, and I think that will be a great first step. And you will already get potential quick wins out of it. If you create something around what they told you they want to do, you can already have a good start like that.
That's awesome. I love it. low hanging fruit and then work your way up the tree. Tiago, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Jane. It was a true pleasure. Talk to you soon.
This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. If you're listening to this on the web, if you could do us a huge favor, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, share it with your entrepreneurial friends, especially those coaches that need to get the word out there and get the new clients coming in, because that's always good, right? My name is James Cademan, and Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services for service businesses across the country on the web at callsoncall.com. And of course, the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur and all of us, available wherever fine books are sold. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guest, Tiago Faria, business mentor for coaches and mentors with a unique anti-marketing approach. Tiago, can you tell us your website one more time?
Yes, it's TIAGOFRIA.PT, TiagoFaria.PT.
Awesome. I love it. Past episodes can be found morning, noon, and night. Podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome. And if you do nothing else, enjoy your business.